start with an opening statement from Coach.
Oh, let's give credit to Drexel. Always talk about this. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Zach and how he runs his program. Obviously, there's a championship program that he's running, and I want to give them a lot of credit. Those guys fought hard, and they made it very difficult for us. So, hats off to them. But, I guess we started off the game the way that we needed to. A lot of pop. I thought we were tough. I thought we were competitive. Later on in the second half, we stopped guarding. I want to say they were shooting 61% to go into halftime, and we talked about it. We needed to lock down and get some stops if we were going to have a chance to win. Second half started. They jumped out on us. I thought at the 14-minute mark, we really turned it on and started guarding. We were able to get out and get in transition. When we started guarding, it's crazy how it works with this generation. When they stop scoring, they don't want to guard. And so we caught them when they stopped scoring and they were deflating a little bit, and we were able to get some great looks, and guys stepped up and knocked them down. But that was a great team win for us.
If you have questions, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you, and I'll call on the person going. Nick first in front, and then Kyle.
Nick, what was clicking there in the second half? 4 for 4 to start. What did you see on the offensive end?
I would have to give credit to my teammates for that, man. I got it going early in the second half, and they just did a good job finding me and getting me the ball. So,
Kyle.
Coach, earlier in the week, you'd mentioned the tournament success last year, CBI, starting this year in Baja. How much do you feel like that kind of played in that second half rally?
Well, we returned 5-6 guys from last year's group. So they have a lot of tournament experience. We've had a lot of success in tournament play. But, we came in confident. We're about as connected as we've been all year. And we knew in order to have success up here, we'd have to be extremely connected. But those guys, they, it's great when you can have a player-coach team, player-led team, and I really didn't have to say a whole lot. They were coaching themselves. Our older guys were talking in huddles. It was a beautiful thing to be a part of. But that experience in Baja Mar, the experience in the CBI, I thought it really helped us tonight.
John.
Hi, Nick. John Titel from Hoops HD. Is this the first time you've had the toughness chain all year? And how proud are you of getting it in the most important game of the year?
Yes, this is my first time having it this year, man, and I'm grateful to have it, to be able to say that I got the toughness chain and competed. So.
Back to Dave Preston.
Question for Coach. The way they were shooting early on, somehow they wound up missing, I think, 14 of their last 17. What was the focus defensively? What really turned things around there late?
Well, I thought they were getting their shots, and we talked about it before we even came over here. And as we were preparing, they were getting us off balance. They're a really good cutting team, and they were cutting behind us, which made our defense collapse, and they were able to kick it out for threes, or they were driving us and kicking it out for threes. So we just had to not let them get underneath us to get those clean looks. And I thought when they went on that rut where they missed 14 shots, I thought we really sat down and kept the ball in front of us so they couldn't get kick-out threes.
In front to Matt and then to the wall.
Matt Trucknight from Herbert FM Sports Radio. So Coach, on February 16th, you guys played Drexel. It was a double overtime thriller, 72-71. This was almost another overtime win if Drexel would have drained that three-pointer.
Thank God they didn't.
Well, yes, exactly. Well, exactly, true. But, I mean, this was only one separated by 5 points. So just talk about what does that say with both of these teams, how close these games have been?
Well, we're very similar. Not when you talk about personnel, but we're a defensive first team. And when we were up there in Philly, in regulation, the game was in the 50s, low 50s. So we knew it would be a grinded out type of game. We're very similar teams when you talk about guarding. And we knew it would be a tough game for us. I'm glad that we were able to score a little bit today. But we knew it was going to be a grinded out type game. The thing, when we look at our box score and we look at our season up to this point, we've won games in the 50s. 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. So we're able to play and be able to win in any style of game.
Bailey?
Yeah, Coach. Most regular season games, you have that night or the day to kind of enjoy the win, knowing 24 hours from now you have another win or go home game. What is it like trying to get the team back on track? Is there a difference in how long you take?
The main thing right now, and I just told them in the locker room, is to make sure we hydrate and get rest, as much rest as we can. We'll get together tonight and start talking about our game plan as we move forward. But that's the main thing, is getting rest and getting hydrated for tomorrow's game.
John?
Coach, you had in the loss at Hofstra, you had two very different halves, obviously, in that game. Is there anything you take from that game that you did in the first half, and anything that you can take from that in the second half that you need to improve?
You know what really hurt us in that game, outside of us not competing and being tough enough for probably 25 of those minutes, the live ball turnovers. When you look at Hofstra, everybody talks about their scoring and their firepower on offense, but they're probably the best defensive team in our league. They really guard you, and they make it very difficult for you. They're very physical. They pack the paint. Their pick and roll defense is really good. So we have to make sure we execute offensively, and then we can't let those two guards have career nights. You know, they were able to do whatever they wanted to do. They did the same thing today. So it's going to be a challenge for us. It is, but we have to lock in on both ends of the floor and try to execute our game plan as best as we can.
Now, Ryan, last one.
Nick, after you guys are down by 12, how were you able to just totally flip the game in a matter of like 5 minutes and go on that 16-0 run?
Just staying together. I feel like when we went in the locker room during the first half, we talked about it and told everybody to just stay together, stay locked in. And when we came out, we went on a run.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Start with an opening statement from Coach.
Yeah, I think, again, I think we were in here yesterday, and I think you'll find coaches in here tonight, tomorrow, and Tuesday that'll say it's a hard-fought CAA game. These seedings they mean nothing. Just shows where you finished in the league, but I think when the ball gets thrown up here in D.C., at least in our situation, I think they're pretty heavily contested games, regardless of the score. I thought our guys really competed, really played incredibly hard. Some shots fell for us early, built a lead, and we weren't able to capitalize on it. Credit goes to Wilmington for the things that they controlled. Got the offensive glass, hit a couple shots, and I think that was one of the big differences in the game. So,
questions in the room in front, DeMarcus.
There was a 16-0 run in the second half for UNCW.
Yeah.
What was that? What caused it?
Well, Nick Farrar was part of it, and certainly we mixed our coverages up during that time. He had a couple shots. They ran a couple different actions for him. It was a little bit staggered in around some stoppages. A couple times called timeout. Justin drew a foul, got to the foul line. So they hit some shots. This is a team on the season that hasn't shot the three incredibly well. They hit some timely shots right there.
Connor.
Coach, how did the injuries to Mate and Yame really limit you guys offensively finding points?
I'm sorry, who was that? Was that on? Yeah. Sorry, go again. What?
How did the injuries to Yame and Mateo Gross limit you guys down the stretch trying to score points, keep up with them once they took the lead back?
Yeah, I thought Mate was aggressive today. And he scored at the rim a couple times. And, he's just a veteran leadership. Even if he's not necessarily scoring, he's cutting and moving. And I think our guys are comfortable with that. So certainly a veteran leader. Yame Butler, I don't know if you have time to go on a journey of our season, but a month ago, Justin went out the day before he played Delaware in practice. Jamie Bergen stepped in and was dominant and played incredible, his best game of the season. And with 3 minutes left, tore his meniscus, and he was done for the year. Yame Butler had 17 that game and played and carried us for a stretch. And then for him to go down today, that's some pretty cruel fate. We get Justin back, and then Oakrist goes down. So I don't think I've experienced quite that swing and quite that attack at a depth at one position ever before. And during that process, I think we played 500 or better ball in that time. So really is a credit to our players and really kind of doing that and absorbing injuries and continue to play. But to answer your question, I mean, those are two guys that have really hit big shots and made big plays for us. And, you know, Yame struggled down here, and he didn't even really get an opportunity today. So it's gut-wrenching to see, quite frankly. I don't have any other words for it.
To Zoom and David.
Hey, Coach, late in the second half, you guys were up by 12. What changed that led to UNCW to do that 16-0 run?
They hit shots. I thought we had some quality looks at that time. Some stuff at the rim didn't go in. Maybe a free throw or two didn't go in. And so, Dave, they made some shots. Credit goes to them.
What was your message to your players after the game?
Well, you know, we have one guy who's exhausted his eligibility. And you never really, or at least I don't plan on what I'm going to say, but we took a few minutes to really acknowledge and celebrate what all Coltrane Washington has done during his time at Drexel. So, Dave, the message was short for the rest of our guys, and we'll regroup. It's a pretty raw locker room right there, and I don't think words can really necessarily do it justice. So try and give the guys their space. But in terms of Coltrane, the guy literally has added 30 pounds to his frame, 30 pounds, and become a lockdown defender. And in the middle of that process, came in was a sniper, and I thought you saw the best of both of his abilities today. He hit some open shots, carried us a little bit, and really defended. And so I'm going to miss him in our program. And for the rest of our guys, I hope that a tightly contested quarterfinal game is just the beginning. And a lot of it has to do with this guy next to me, who I thought played one of his better games of the season.
Yeah, just wanted a question for Justin. You've been through a lot this year, started off slow and recently have picked up, and this is probably your best game of the season. What has this season taught you?
You know, this season taught me through like my ups and downs just to stay focused and you know, stay within the team. Let people help me, let people guide me through the season, and just, you know, gaining confidence throughout the season helped me. You know, like I started off slow, then I picked it up. You know, but that's all within the team, the trust of my teammates and my coaches, you know. So I feel like if you just stay steady and you're gonna be fine. Like, just don't get too high, don't get too low.
All right. Thanks, guys.